Yeah, that's Beach Boys from Pet Sounds. I just wasn't made for these times. And now there's like, the meme of born in the wrong generation. He did it first, maybe, in the 60s. But yeah, rest in peace, Brian Wilson. Someone just said born in the wrong dimension. Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, it sucks. And, what can I say? He was someone who meant a lot to a lot of people. And he was kind of an inspiration for me because when I was growing up, I just thought he made like surf music, and the Beach Boys were just about fun. And then I listened to Pet Sounds, and I was like, wow, this is actually an amazing album, and it's really like crushingly sad. I forget who it was, some comedian, I forget, was talking about the Beach Boys. He's like, yeah, I can't listen to him. I think it was Bill Burr. It was Bill Burr, and he was like, I can't fucking listen to him, right? Because they sound so cheery and sunny, but when you know the story or when you start listening to like some of the other stuff, it's just so sad underneath the surface. He was 82. He lived a long life. I mean, considering the psychiatric shit that he went through, and he outlived his brothers and, not his cousin Mike Love. But even Mike Love, as I said earlier, like I memed about the dude. I've talked shit about him because he sucks, and a lot of people know why he sucks. He wasn't great to his cousin, and he's just a shitty dude. But even he was, he wrote something, and it seemed appropriate. It was sad. I read his statement, and yeah, there aren't that many of them Beach Boys left. They were a really great band, and they inspired the Beatles to do Sergeant Pepper, and they were one of the more influential bands. It wasn't just, I know it's easy to be like, oh, Beach Boys, they're made surf music. Yeah, at first, and then drugs. It was one of those things where they were pretty much doing some of the more unique music, and that was all Brian. So, without waxing too poetic about this whole thing, people die. We're going to have this conversation, I'm sure. The more, if I stream for many years to come, then many of my favorite artists will pass away. A lot of them are getting older, and it sucks. But I'm glad Brian had a better life in his later years. And, after his wife went, I was like, oh. But yeah, it's sad. I'll recommend a couple things if you're interested. One, the movie Love and Mercy. Paul Dano plays a young Brian Wilson, and John Cusack plays an older Brian Wilson. It's the story of, Pet Sounds to some of the other stuff, the early stuff, and also then later in life when he had this fucking horrible psychiatrist slash handler who was really not good for him. And anyway, really good movie. I would highly recommend it. I would also recommend the album Pet Sounds. You could also listen to a best of course, but there's a lot of good shit that isn't just Pet Sounds. The album Smile is another great one that could have been finished. It had good vibrations on it, but it wasn't finished. If that was finished, that would have been and released as it was intended, as the vision. Now it's been, finished by Brian, and, you can kind of see what it would have been like. Um, Even the unfinished versions of some of those songs are amazing. And I wish that album was finished, and it would have been pretty amazing to see that released in the 60s. It would have been, I think, really influential. So the album Surf's Up has a lot of crap on it, but there's some good songs on it too. Specifically, Surf's Up. Till I Die is an amazing song. If you want something heavy, like there's a lot of that stuff. The album Friends came out during the psychedelic stuff, and it's okay. It has a couple songs. Very hippie. So if you're looking for stuff that isn't just best of surf music, and some of that stuff is great, like California Girls is amazing, Warmth of the Sun is amazing, but there's plenty of other shit from beyond Pet Sounds that's worth listening to. But then it gets kind of spotty, and then Mike Love released under his Beach Boys probably one of the worst albums ever, Summer in Paradise. which is a horrible album. Shortening Bread. Yeah, that's his favorite song ever. It was Brian's favorite song. Wouldn't It Be Nice is one of my favorites as a chat member. That's a great song. So, wait, there are two Beach Boys. There were more than that. What's your favorite Beach Boys song? Barely heard any of their work. One of the ones I would recommend is listen to the song Till I Die. So that's probably the one that is very deeply affecting, and I would recommend that. Wouldn't It Be Nice is great. Good Vibrations, God Only Knows. In My Room is a really good one. It's about how I really like that one because, first of all, it's pretty. I just like stuff that sounds like this. If I play too much of it, it's going to get muted on YouTube. So I'd rather have this up so people could check it out. But that and like Warmth of the Sun is just the harmonies. You know, it's like one of the things I've seen people say is they miss harmonies, and the Lemon Twigs do this. They cover Beach Boys. One of them was named after Brian Wilson. But it is true though. I do kind of miss harmony in music. It's really beautiful. And they had beautiful voices together, like the brothers and even the cousin. So yeah, there's just some really, really nice music. And then some of it's very, very depressing. But the song In My Room is about how he couldn't really deal with his emotions. Their story with their father was kind of messed up. Just not quite as Michael Jackson level, but you know. And I think Brian had a hard time adjusting. So the room was literally his studio, and going to the music studio for him was a way to, uh, just kind of get his feelings out. And I don't know, I like that song a lot. So yeah, There's a lot of good stuff, and even if you just kind of go to a best of and just choose and listen to some stuff, I think there's some really fun music. But if you want the really good sad shit, like I said, Till I Die, Surfs Up, most of Pet Sounds, and yeah. So I'm glad that his stuff will always be here and always live on because it is very good. Anyway, rest in peace, Brian. I'll stop now. This was more than I expected to talk about him. All right. Have you ever heard of a niche band called Bon Jovi before? They're pretty good. God forbid I talk about a popular artist that was popular because they were good, right? And influential. God forbid. Gotta only talk about niche little, like, nobody bands. Otherwise, I'm not a real music fan. Chat, do you like how I extrapolated all of that from that one sentence from that chat member? I just invented a chat member that doesn't even exist so I could get mad at them. All right. I love shadow boxing. All right, chat. I'm sorry. Here, let's play some video games. Thanks for listening, by the way. I appreciate it. I really do. When will they arrest Mark David Chapman? Guy's a real jerk. You know that? You should have gone through that guy's entire chat history and flamed him like Northern Lion does. Is that what he does? Hmm. A chat audit, huh?